Boom! Shake the room, Fire Nation. JLD here, and welcome to Entrepreneurs on Fire, the only daily show interviewing the world's top entrepreneurs 7 days a week. Today, we'll be breaking down your happiness choice. To drop these value bombs, I have brought Marilyn Tam into EO Fire Studios. Marilyn is a speaker, author, consultant, board-certified executive and corporate coach, formerly the CEO of Aveda Corp, president of Reebok Apparel and Retail Group, vice president of Nike Incorporated, and a successful entrepreneur of 4 companies. Come on, Maryland. And today we'll talk about the 5 decisions that will determine our happiness. Fire Nation, get fired up for this because it's a lot more coming your way as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors. Is now the time to grow a successful business? Attend the world's highest rated business growth workshop taught personally by Clay Clark and now featuring football star Tim Tebow and President Trump's son, Eric Trump, at thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. Again, request life-changing tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. Marilyn, say what's up to Fire Nation and share something that you believe about becoming successful that most people disagree with.
What I believe that everybody has is the ability right now where they are to become successful. They already have what it takes. So you don't have to, climb 6 more mountains and do whatever all. You right now have the ability to become successful from where you are.
And we're talking about your happiness choice today, Fire Nation. We're going to be really diving deep into this because Marilyn has a list of 5 decisions, count them, 5, that will determine our happiness. Marilyn, let's start with number 1, money.
Exactly, because actually most people focus on this one. In fact, they think that is the only reason or only thing that's going to make a difference on whether they're happy or not. If I have so much more money, and it's usually more, I never heard of anybody who says, I wish I had less money. They focus so much on this decision, which is important. Yes, you need money for survival in our economic world, but that is not the only decision, but it's how we look at money and how you balance that with the other 4 decisions that you need to make to determine whether you're truly going to be successful or not.
Well, we're going to dive into all 5 today, but what I want to do is talk about each one by one individually, and then give us a real world example. Maybe that you've experienced, Marilyn, or somebody that you know has experienced. That's a good example of that in real life. So money, what is that example?
I'll give you a perfect example. One of the things I do is I coach top leaders in business as well as nonprofits and as well as government on their life balance, their choice, their success, all the aspects. I'm an executive coach, but then I actually integrate all aspects of it. So I won't name this person because obviously it's a sensitive information and I never talk about who I coach anyway. But this person is a very high level, in fact, a C-level executive in a Fortune 100 company, Fortune 50, I should say. And this person has achieved what we in this Western society particularly think of as success because they have several houses, their own plane and helicopter, personal chef, and all the different accoutrements one would think would make a person happy, including being on their 3rd spouse, who they think is now the one. But then I'm sure since I've gone through some years ago meeting this person in other circumstances, that's what this person thought also was his life made with the second one. So obviously something isn't working because in all monetary aspects, this person has all the things that one thinks needs to be happy. And he confessed to me, how come I'm not happy? Because I've got everything that people say I need to be happy. So having incredible amounts of money does not guarantee happiness. there's going to be something else. And in this case, that's what we worked on, to shift his perspective of getting more money is not going to get him what he's looking for, which is happiness. So it was something that our society has very much conditioned us all to think about, which is, if you want to be happy, just get more money. And he really bought into that and has accomplished that in all aspects that people in other levels of economic well-being would say he's got to be a happy guy because he's got everything. But he doesn't. He doesn't have something inside of him that would bring about what we call happiness, which is an overall sense of well-being, of peace, and of feeling like there's an balance in your life. He didn't have that.
There has to be something else, Fire Nation. That's such a powerful phrase. I mean, the first 2,000 episodes of Entrepreneurs on Fire, I asked my guests, who are all successful entrepreneurs, what's your worst entrepreneurial moment? So many of them said, the day that I sold my company. It was crazy for me to hear because I'm like, well, I thought that'd be the best day of your life because you sold your company. Now you're rich. You have all this money. That wasn't it. That wasn't what brought them happiness. In fact, not having that brought them unhappiness. And that was really interesting to me. And I want to move on to number 2, body. How does body play into happiness?
That's what most people, when they're on the climb to make more money, give up. They abuse their body, not consciously, but they work too hard. They drink too much coffee. They may drink other beverages, which also lead to more damage on the body, as well as other ways to stress out the body, whether physically or with medication, whether prescribed or otherwise. And they don't take care of it. They eat badly because they quote, don't have time. They don't exercise. They don't do all the things that, when the body is not in balance, would hurt how we feel, would be a total deterrent on how we perceive life. Because if we are taking medication to calm the ulcers that's coming from distress, uppers and downers just to get going, all the different things that we can do to our body, which results in unhappiness. And when we're in sole pursuit of what society tells us is happiness, which is, as you mentioned, money, and how that is going to shift our thinking and giving up our body in the pursuit of it, is one of the first causes of unhappiness, no matter how much money we have.
In Fire Nation, in 2015, I can remember so clearly looking in the mirror and just feeling puffy, feeling bloated. I was out of shape. I wasn't eating great. I was at the computer all day, scrunched over, just staring at a screen, trying to build the business. I was like 2.5, 3 years into Entrepreneurs on Fire. I was in the grinding stage, but man, that didn't mean I had to give up body. That didn't mean I had to do that. So luckily I made a change because I visually saw that I had to. My energy levels were low. So I hired a trainer, started eating better, started doing the right things. And listen, your body, man, it will be magical. It will recover from abuses you give it quickly when you start doing the right things. I prioritize sleep. There are so many great things that you can do so quickly. Just give your body a chance. Marilyn, let's talk about relationships.
And it's so funny because I can kind of tell about how these all tie together, your money, the body, and relationships, because that's another thing we sacrifice when we focus on making money. And even if you're just also focusing on, as you say, taking care of yourself, but we have other people around us, or maybe we don't have anybody around us because we're so focused on the first two. So it's a matter of saying, how do we combine not only our physical life between money and body with relationships, because relationships is really what causes us to understand that there's more than us in the world. When we're young, we depended 100% on other people to take care of us. Those are loving, caring relationships to bring us to where we are now. And when we get very old, again, we're going to have to depend on other people to take care of us. So in between time, all we have is a time to cultivate and appreciate that we are not alone. We are social animals. Human beings are social animals. When we don't have relationships, we don't have that connection that we all need to thrive. And that's really the word. Without relationships, we cannot thrive, because the old saying, no man is an island, and no person is a person without other people. So relationships, whether it's the single one, your love interest, or is it your friends, your neighbors, your children, if you have any, all those relationships that bring us either joy or loneliness. And so like the other two, we talked about money and body. It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes attention to build and foster these things, relationships.
In Fire Nation, that's why I end every episode of Entrepreneurs on Fire by saying, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You need to be very intentional about your relationships. You need to foster those relationships. You need to surround yourself with the right people. And we have 2 more to talk about when we get back from thanking our sponsors. The job market is constantly fluctuating. Did you know that according to a recent ZipRecruiter survey, 76% of employers plan to expand headcount for 2025? That's great news. And it's also a lot of time that will be spent hiring. If you're one of these employers who's ramping up hiring this year, don't miss out on this advice. Add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It lets you post jobs today and talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Best of all, it does most of the work for you, so you save time. And right now you can try Zip Intro for free at ziprecruiter.com/fire. Zip Intro gives you the power to quickly assess excellent candidates for your job. Jump on back-to-back video calls quickly to determine who is the best fit. All you have to do is pick a time, and Zip Intro does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Save time hiring for 2025 with new Zip Intro. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/fire right now to try Zip Intro for free. Again, that's ziprecruiter.com/fire. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. There's a lot to consider when starting your own business, and protecting your identity and privacy are top concerns. With Northwest Registered Agent, you get more privacy, more guidance, and more freedom to run your business from anywhere in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping businesses launch and grow for nearly 30 years. If you want to build your business while keeping your personal information secure, Northwest is the partner you need. In just 10 clicks and 10 minutes, they'll form your business, create a custom website, and set up your local presence wherever you need it. Once you sign up, you'll get everything from formation paperwork to custom domains and trademark registration, all in one easy-to-use account. Ready to form your business backed by real business experts with decades of experience? Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and set up your business in just 10 clicks in 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/fire and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/fire.